All right, so how does an interface work and how do we set it up? So today I'll be using the Scarlett 2i2 3rd Gen interface, but if you have a different interface, don't worry. Everything that we're going to cover here in this video translates across the board to all interfaces, with a very small exception, which is this air button right here, but we'll get to that a little later on. Okay, so first things first, let's start with the back of the interface. Right here is where you have a USB-C port. This is where you'll plug your interface into your computer. Depending on what interface you buy, and if you're a Mac or PC person, this could be a Thunderbolt connection or a USB connection. I always suggest going with whatever you grew up using or whatever you're most comfortable with when it comes to Mac or PC. Moving on, you have your balanced TRS line level outputs right and left. This is where you would plug in your speakers or monitors if you have them. Depending on what monitors or speakers you have, you could use a TRS to TRS cable or a TRS to XLR cable. Now, moving around to the front of the interface, we have your input 1 and your input 2, which are both XLR/TRS inputs. This is where you'd plug in your microphone via XLR cable or your instrument via TRS cable. Above and to the right of the inputs, you'll see these gain knobs. This is where you'll control the gain of your microphone or instrument. For example, if I were to record something really loud, like me screaming a line of dialogue for a video game or animation audition, I definitely want to turn this down as to not clip my audio. Whereas if I were to record something with a very conversational delivery that's lower in volume, like I am currently right now, I'd want to turn this up to maintain strong, healthy levels. Make sure to check out the video in this course that's all about how to properly set your levels when recording for more information on this topic. All right, well, what about these little buttons below the gain knobs? Well, the instrument button would be if you were plugging in an instrument via a TRS cable, for example. And the air button is what I briefly mentioned at the very beginning of this video. This button is native to the Focusrite interface. The air button replicates the sound of a Focusrite Studio Console ISA 110 mic preamp. In English, it adds brightness or clarity to the audio. If you're recording dialogue of any kind, I'd shy away from this for a couple of reasons. One, as I said, engaging this button adds brightness or clarity to your audio, which can become fatiguing to the listener's ears over time. It enhances things like sibilance and other harsh sounds that are irritating to listen to, especially for long-form content. And two, as I always say, you can't unbake a cake. Turning this function on is known as front-end processing, so you'd be processing your audio as it's being recorded rather than processing the audio after the fact. This can be dangerous because once the audio is recorded, that's it. It's printed, and there's no way for you to undo this front-end processing other than completely re-recording everything without it. All right, now moving over to this little button labeled 48V. This stands for 48 volts phantom power, and if you're using a large diaphragm condenser microphone like a Rode NT1 or a shotgun microphone like the Sennheiser 416, this button must be engaged for your microphone to receive power and actually record audio. A lot of people will end up buying an interface, completely overlook this button, and then immediately think they've received a bad interface or a bad microphone. Make sure this button is on if you're using one of the previously mentioned types of microphones. All right, so directly below that, we have the direct monitor button. This button allows you to hear yourself in your headphones as you record audio, if desired. You have three settings: off, mono, or stereo. All right, now over to this big monitor knob. This knob will control the volume coming out of your speakers or monitors as you play your audio back. The little knob beside it controls the volume coming out of your headphones, and directly below that is where you would actually plug in said headphones. Lastly, most every interface will come with its own drivers and a control panel. To get the most out of your interface, I'd highly suggest going to the manufacturer's website and downloading the drivers for that interface, as well as the control panel that will give you virtual access to your interface's settings. To learn more about this, make sure to go to the technical section in this course to find the video titled Computer/DAW/Interface Matching, where I go into this topic in greater detail and walk you through how to download the drivers and your control panel for your interface. I hope you found this tutorial really helpful. This video is taken from my Audio for Content Creators course, which is a course I've been working on for a little over a year now. It covers everything you need to know when it comes to recording audio, all the way from microphones, interfaces, recording and editing audio, all the way to acoustically treating the space that you're recording in for the best possible audio and everything in between. Currently, there's 60 plus tutorial videos inside the course, with more coming each month. Once you buy the course, you'll have full lifetime access to not only the current videos, but all the future content that I'll be adding will also be free to you as well. I also have mini courses that cover these topics that are also included in the Audio for Content Creators full course. If you're interested or just want to check everything out, you can find the link in the description of this video or just head over to audiodoctor.tech and look under courses. All right? Well, you know what they say.